Welcome to the Instant Trivia Podcast, episode 1978, where we ask the best trivia on the internet. Let's get started. Who portrayed the character Bill Bittinger in the 1980s TV series Buffalo Bill? Dabney Coleman. Which of the original 13 colonies was the last to ratify the U.S. Constitution? Rhode Island. Who holds the record as the shortest adult human ever documented? Chandra Bahadur Dangi. Which artist recorded the 1984 hit Caribbean Queen? Billy Ocean. Which valuable mineral was primarily mined in Minnesota's Mesabi Range and supplied the U.S. steel industry in the 20th century? Iron ore. Which 1960s TV series regularly featured a white Volvo P1800? The Saint. In which country is the kip the official currency? Laos. When diamond, which is pure carbon, burns in oxygen, which gas is produced by the combustion? Carbon dioxide. In Robert Louis Stevenson's novel Treasure Island, who served as Captain Flint's quartermaster? Long John Silver. Which historic artifact associated with Scottish kings was controversially taken from Scotland in 1950 and returned in 1996? Answer: the Stone of Scone, also called the Stone of Destiny. As of 2008, which country had won the Eurovision Song Contest more times than any other? Ireland. Which novel by Leo Tolstoy tells the story of a married woman whose affair leads to tragic consequences? Anna Karenina. Which country is known for Inca Kola, an iconic soft drink often called the Golden Cola? Peru. Which mountain range is the second longest in Europe? The Scandinavian Mountains, the Scandies. Which speed skater famously won 5 gold medals at the 1980 Winter Olympics in Lake Placid? Eric Heiden. Which American composer, known for his contributions to musical theater, co-wrote the score for the groundbreaking musical Oklahoma? Richard Rodgers. Which singing legend was found dead on the bathroom floor on August 16, 1977? Elvis Presley. By surface area, which lake is the second largest in Africa after Lake Victoria? Lake Tanganyika. What is the title of the 1986 film starring Kathleen Turner that explores the themes of nostalgia and second chances through a time-traveling premise? Peggy Sue Got Married. Which animal, known for its distinctive black and white coloring, is most closely associated with bamboo forests in China? Giant panda. Which American tennis player won his first U.S. Open title in 1990, beginning a dominant era in men's tennis? Pete Sampras. Which famous comedy group was made up of members whose given names were Herbert, Milton, Julius, and Leonard? The Marx Brothers. Which language family includes varieties such as Hakka and Wu? Sino-Tibetan, Sinitic branch. Which sport at the 2012 London Olympics was held at Lord's Cricket Ground? Archery. Which Greek god is associated with wine, theater, and revelry, and is famous for his dual nature of joy and madness? Dionysus. Which German-born engineer led the teams that developed the V-2 rocket used against London and later led development of the Saturn V rocket for the U.S. space program? Wernher von Braun. Which artist had a 1979 UK hit with the song Ring My Bell? Anita Ward. Nollywood is the nickname for the film industry of which country? Nigeria. In mythology, what term describes a violent whirlpool often associated with dangerous seas? Maelstrom. Count Duckula was a spin-off of which other children's animated series? Danger Mouse. Who was made the first Earl of Chatham in 1766? William Pitt the Elder. Which 2014 international summit in Brisbane, Australia, did Vladimir Putin leave before the closing ceremony? G20 Summit. In March 2013, the Royal Air Force flew €1 million from the UK to which country as a contingency to provide military personnel with loans? Cyprus. In which country was netball first developed, originally known as women's basketball? England. Which fruit is used to flavor Kriek, the traditional Belgian beer? Cherries. After his first abdication in 1814, to which Mediterranean island was Napoleon exiled? Elba. Which unit of dry measure is equal to 8 dry quarts? A peck. What is the English name of Médecins Sans Frontières? Doctors Without Borders. Which Australian bushranger is said to have uttered "such is life" as his last words before his execution? Ned Kelly. In musical notation, what Italian term instructs performers to play a passage sweetly? Dolce. Which movie is associated with the joke about an amplifier that goes to 11, leading IMDb to cheekily display an 11-star rating for it? This is Spinal Tap. In a professional singles tennis match, how many ball kids are typically on the court at one time? 6. Which French artist, alongside Pablo Picasso, is credited with developing Cubism in the early 20th century? Georges Braque. Which iconic chef popularized French cuisine in America and wrote the groundbreaking cookbook Mastering the Art of French Cooking? Julia Child. What word completes the title of Enigma's January 1994 single Return to Gore? Innocence. In James Fenimore Cooper's novel, The Deerslayer, what is the protagonist's real name, the man famed for his wilderness skills and moral integrity? Natty Bumppo. In Lewis Carroll's 1872 novel, Through the Looking Glass, what weapon is used to kill the Jabberwock? A Vorpal sword. Chappaquiddick Island is part of which larger island? Martha's Vineyard. Which musical instrument, commonly found in churches, produces sound by driving air through a series of pipes? Pipe organ. Who became Roman emperor after Caligula's assassination and later married his niece Agrippina, who is said to have poisoned him? Claudius. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for more exciting trivia.